Bonsoir. It's a Friday night. It's 9 o'clock. It's still number one. It's the Manchester United agenda. And I'm joined by Mr. B this evening.
What is happening, BT? What is happening?
I'm all right. I've got a bit annoyed today already, to be perfectly honest.
What you done?
I watched the overlap, you know, that thing with like Keane and Scholes and that. But I picked the wrong one, and it's the one where Scholes and Carragher sit on a sofa. And I couldn't believe what I was watching, because do you remember that injury report that I always bring up about how like hamstrings account for 24% of all injuries in the Premier League? And we've been going on about this for genuinely over a year. Their entire show was about that research paper. And I sat there and thought, no one watches us, and yet we're years ahead of everyone else. So it's got to be us. Do you know what I mean? We're just boring people. Mr. B. And then compound that off with Luckhurst this week released how much every Man United player needs to get. How often have we? I mean,
I know. Trying to explain to these people about.
Well, yeah, but we've done it. Everyone here should know the price of everyone, because we've been doing this for 2 years, and I find it frustrating. So I started off blaming myself, and then I just decided I was going to blame the viewers instead. They're just
blame them.
Yeah, their fault. Anyway, how you doing? What you been up to today?
I had a good day, but I was in my house for 12:10. And
wow.
I had to, and then I had a whole load of other things to do. But it's better than having to do it over the weekend. So I've had a good Fridays. Keep them Fridays are the best day of the week. It feels like I'm on half day a lot of the time. Don't want my boss to be hearing
Thursdays.
That. Oh no,
Fridays. I used to go out on Thursday nights a lot.
Pardon?
I used to go out on Thursday nights all the time.
Like, and have work on a Friday.
This is when I was playing football, so we would just have a very, very light training session on Friday, and then we'd be on the coach on Saturday. And here's another thing not to do: when you're annoyed, don't look at pictures of places that you used to live, because it's very upsetting. I spent earlier today. I spent 20 minutes watching a bloke walk around Santiago de Chile. Like, just literally walking around, and it's upset me because I don't live there anymore.
You live where you live. At least you've got the memories of Chile, not Chile. Chile. But look, while we're talking, I don't want to forget my manners. I'm Titanium. Hakuna Mateta, a good ultimate team name.
Talk me through that, Mr. B.
I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
Ultimate Team is like the online multiplayer of FIFA, and you know how like five-a-side teams always like do these stupid names like Panathinaikos.
Not that we're saying it's stupid. I'm Titanium, but okay, I got it. Okay,
and so Mateta. This is Hakuna Matata from The Lion King.
Okay, and I get the link with the Mateta news. Okay, fair enough. Okay, that was quite smart, to be fair, for a Friday. There you go. Look, we told you. We read it out. See, so keep quiet now. You don't have to say anything else. I'm joking. I'm Titanium. Matty Bassett, I hope you're doing well, man. Richard Hawkins, we see you, man. Let's see. Oh, your ones are all right. I'm more worried about Andrew's ones that are long and I don't read all of them. Then he's got some madness at the bottom. Oh my God, I'm so tired. You guys are hopefully my pick-me-up. Good evening, Bath Time, Mr. B and the chat. Hakuna is a player too. Is he?
He is. Like, I keep thinking of Blaber, though, who's a player at Brighton I really, really like.
I know. He was the one who was doing the dance after they kicked our ass, didn't it?
Yeah. There's another one at Notts Forest called Elliot Anderson that I've recently seen, who he could be a bit like... Do you remember Zico had this massive hard-on for Adam Wharton, Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Like, Elliot Anderson is, I think... If we could get a central midfielder, I think I'd go for him. I'm really impressed of what I've seen like from him. And he's the one at Forest, that goes like unsung. Like, everyone's talking about Alanga, Hudson-Odoi, Chris Woods, Gibbs White, but Elliot Anderson is a player that I think that we should be going for.
Okay. Well, you need to talk to Barada, mate. Now your guy's gone. There's a little opening. Maybe you can get a word in his ear. Simon, how you doing, man? I hope you're doing well. Sub Vids, we see you in the house. And fam, Fawn, my apologies. I hope you're doing well, man. Bath time. What are we starting with today?
Are you playing football tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we've got a good game tomorrow. I'm very happy with my team tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just happy with it. I'm happy with my first 11. I'm happy with my subs. I'm expecting Monday. I'm expecting there to be carnage tomorrow. I really, really am.
Is it how many games left have you got?
I think we've got 8. So we got this week. We've got a double header next week.
Yeah.
But we're home. Our home frame's in good. I mean, we just did the PSG Liverpool last week. It felt. I just watched the game and thought, bloody hell. Obviously, not that standard, but the amount of saves that the goalie made was just stupid. So yeah, I'm expecting a bounce back tomorrow, and I've got a good bunch of players playing tomorrow. So yeah.
Have you got double headers for the rest of the season?
No. Just next week.
I think we've got 2 in a row double headers, like because it's Wales, isn't it? But from the end of November till mid-January, we get like 1 game every 3 weeks.
Shit.
Because of the weather and stuff. It's just so frustrating.
So you got the backlog now coming up, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you're like the RFAs are basically the same, so we'll finish about the same time. But I wouldn't mind it if it just ran an extra month, to be honest, the season.
Can't they extend it? Don't they ever extend it? Cricket.
Yeah, no, they do extend it, but the thing is that at the start of the season, like you're planning for like where the end of the season should be, and so stuff comes up. Like people, I don't know why people are booking like mini breaks and things around then, but very frustrating.
To get back in the wife's good books, innit? Chat Sport. Howdy, man. I hope you're doing well. He just made a comment about Wharton. Wharton at Palace. Joao Guerrero at Valencia would do. We're talking about our central midfielders there. I mean, we're going to probably need a replacement. It sounds like Kobbie's said he doesn't want to stay. So look, we've got quite a few things to talk about, and plus the Arsenal preview. So what we're going to start with?
Should we get Mateta out of the way? Because it's a very simple one, isn't it? We've been linked with Mateta at Crystal Palace, our mid-table rivals. He scored basically 30 goals in 2 seasons. Like, so you're looking at about a 14, 15, 16 goal Premier League striker in him. And I mean, it's a pretty easy one because you call Rasmus false 9. But is this the quality of player that we need to get in? Is it like a downgrade, as it were, from what we're used to? And what are your general thoughts on him?
I think it's a definite downgrade of what we used to. Look at the standard of strikers that we've had at the club half time. Is it better than we've got? Yes. He plays in the system that Amarin wants to play in. I think that is maybe a big factor. But you've got to remember as well, we've been linked with Osimhen and Gyökeres, who price range you're going to be looking at 60, 70 million. They're not paying that. Mateta's got 1 year left on his contract after this season. So I think that's why they're looking at Mateta more than an elite striker.
I like Mateta a lot.
No, you do. You talk about you do like it. I'm not. I have no problem with Man United looking at Mateta, but I think that's the level that United are at now. And he's Premier League proven, which is no problem. Is he French?
He's French. He won the Olympics for them.
Does he get called up to the French national team, or was it just a Thierry Henry moment?
It was the Thierry Henry one. But I mean, like, who France got? Like, they've got Barcola, who missed that 1-on-1 in the World Cup final. Benzema has retired. Lilian Thuram, not Lilian Thuram, the other Thuram.
Mbappe.
Like, I would suspect Mateta gets in their squad. But what concerns me more is that he is a 15-goal a season striker
instead of a 30 goal. Can't afford a 30 goal. I think they're looking at. I think it's a level thing now.
Yeah,
and you have to be lucky with those kind of players. I mean, he's not a like a streaky player where, I mean, he's been consistent over the last 2 seasons, played in that
before that
format,
he wasn't.
and that is that a system? Is that
No,
the manager? Is that he's now found his Premier League legs?
I think it's more like you look at. I always bring this example up, but right, I'll give you 3 examples: Dominic Solanke, Gyökeres, and Adamela Lookman have all played in the Premier League. We're all like high potential players, but never kind of really got anywhere. It took a lot longer for them to develop into top players than you'd expect. Like, I mean, Solanke has done okay, I think, at Spurs this season, but I mean, he moved to Liverpool from Liverpool to Bournemouth for 20 million, like five or 6 years ago. Lookman never lit up the league for Fulham or for Everton. He's gone to Atalanta. He's kind of harnessed all his gifts. He's definitely a Champions League standard player. Gyökeres, as we know, trained with Matty Bassett. He was at Coventry. He was at Brighton. He never really put it all together. And then, he went to Sporting, and it kind of came good. And I think that the same has happened to Mateta, where he's a blunderbuss of a striker. Like, he's a big physical guy, and he's finally kind of learned the little tips and tricks that you need to kind of get the space in the Premier League. And I would expect that now he's going to consistently get 15 goals. He might have a good season and get 20 goals or something, but I think he'll be a reliable 15-goal a season striker. It's whether he can improve the goals around him. Like, if, let's say, Ahmad, if playing with Ahmad, does Ahmad get maybe 4 or 5 more goals a season? Like, because of the layoffs,
he might get more assists. I understand. I mean, and the thing is, the ball does stick to him. The stuff that we want -9 to do in regards to the ball sticking so that they continue popping off and playing up the field, Mateta can do that. And obviously, you do talk about his physical strength as well. I think it's just the level that we're looking at that is a bit more disappointing half time.
Well, I'll give you one more argument about why I really like players like Mateta. Is everyone talks about playing out from the back, and that I've never been a massive fan of playing out from the back. I think it's dogmatic. I cannot believe in the Sunday leagues that teams are trying to play out with pivots and things. But what if you do want to play out from the back? You are much, much, much better at it if you've got a good Route 1 game. And Pep has shown this across his career. You've seen lots of times Sergio Aguero, like, just getting a long boot off Ederson and scoring. You've seen that they do it with Haaland from time to time as well.
Yeah, direct, yeah.
And if you can play direct, it means that they have to put more pressure quicker on your keeper and your centre-backs. And that means that you're able to get out of the press far quicker. Like, they've got to stop that long ball forward, or you're going to get in. So this is why you get Kai Havertz and Haaland going to clubs like the big target man, because it improves all aspects of the game. And so I think Mateta, as a kind of placeholder for 2 or 3 seasons, would be a good signing.
I mean, look, they did put out there that they're not budgeting for Champions League. Do you see Mateta as a Europa League striker?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, he's 15-goal like Premier League striker. He's got a decent injury record, I think. He's knocking on international football. There's a chance that he can develop into, maybe a Champions League standard striker, but I think it's more that he just raises the physical level of the team. It gives us a few more options, is a bit more consistent, and he kind of moves you from maybe 10th to 7th or something like that. just an incremental step.
15th to 10th in our case. Look, let me go for a couple of these messages. We deserve better. I don't see Mateta as anything extraordinary. What's that, man? Certainly a short-term fix for a long-term problem. Okay. But Mateta is too inconsistent for a team that aspires to regularly play on Tuesday nights. See, I actually read your comment out, but let me get Richard Hawkins. Obviously, they're looking at Mateta because he's only a year left on his contract. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Richard Hawkins is also agreeing with us. Well, obviously that he's French. Jarvis Cocker. I would rather sign João Perreault from Leeds than Mateta. João Perreault. Who?
Jarvis, we've got your video. We will be showing it later. Thank you very much.
João Perreault. Okay, I have no idea who that is. That went straight over my head. We deserve better. He's saying he'll be 28 if we sign him. Experience? See, and all of a sudden they're going to be buying a 28-year-old when they did want to buy, when they said 26 was too old. I think it's a money thing. I definitely think because he's got a year left to his contract, they're putting the feelers out.
I'm perfectly happy. I'm perfectly fine with like 27, 28-year-olds coming in. I think it's fantastic for players like Heaven and Euro to deal against a seasoned Premier League striker.
Yeah, in training.
Day in, day out in training,
Yeah, I get it. It raises their bar as well, no?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, when you look at like Euro, there's some very, very technical things in defending, right? Like, for example, when you're defending a cross, you want to take short little steps sideways, and then your last step wants to be your biggest step, so you can then generate that leap to clear the ball, high and long in the air. And I'm not sure that like Rasmus can capitalize on a defender that doesn't know that, but Mateta will be. So within a couple of weeks, you're going to see players like Euro and Heaven having to like get these kind of nitty gritties down in order to deal with this big fucker in training. And that then like translates onto the pitch where maybe it's only 1 or 2 goals that saved a season. But next season, all I'm really expecting or hoping for is a positive goal difference. And that helps it.
I get it. I get it. We'll just have to see. Jarvis has got a comment here. Mateta's average. Why waste our money? Just because Hoyland is crap doesn't mean we have to settle for average. We've got no money.
It's about resources, isn't it? It's we need to improve so many areas of the team. Like one of our other stories tonight is a goalkeeper. It's going to be very, very difficult to shift Onana, like even at a loss, I guess. And so we've only got a certain amount of money, and we've got to spread it across several different positions. Mateta, like 30 goals in 2 seasons, decent injury record, knows the league, is better than what we've got. I don't think it's too bad of a signing, especially if you. I mean, do you really want to spunk everything like on a Gyökeres?
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
We're not creating enough chances for a Gyökeres anyway. Do you know what I mean? I said there's so much other areas that need fixing, man. We need to create more for our strikers. We've been dead for years, so let's not, let's not get it twisted. But Jesus, man. You're sorry, bath time. Go on.
No, I just think that like there's idealism and there's practicality at the moment. We're in the worst situation we've been in since the 70s. Everything is like rock bottom and stuff. We've got to be careful. We've got to be careful with our money. Like Mateta, for what he brings in terms of statistics and stuff like that, is going to be one of the cheaper options around. He's a player that we can go and get that you think can settle in pretty quickly. There's a lot of upside to it. Whereas if we go and try and like with this Manu story that we're talking about, a lot of the issues about this come from signing Yoro because of the wages that we put Yoro on as a defender, like 130 grand or whatever it is. Kobbie Mainoo has played in a European Cup final and scored the winner in an FA Cup final. Garnacho has won the Copa America. Like, they are benchmarking their contract demands off Yoro. So if we get a striker in that is on a reasonable wage and has 15, is a 15 goal a season striker, I think it's a net positive in the end. But if all of you think he's crap and you don't want him, I do get it, to be honest.
All right, Mainoo. Obviously, it broke in the week that he wanted 180 grand. We knew what the next end of it was. I still believe there's skullduggery going on with that one. He's now
skullduggery.
Yeah, in regards to they're gonna sell him, and they're putting it. I just think they're starting all of the shit already. I understand Mainoo's been played. He's had 2 years of first team football for Manchester United. I'm not sure he's quite an Amorim player.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he plays in Amorim's system. But is it too early to jettison to be letting him go? I understand 180 grand is a lot for somebody who's had 6 months of a year, 12 months of proper football.
What's the skullduggery part? Because I can see that Andrew and We Deserve Better are saying this. Just in regard to if you're going to release. It wasn't his agents that said he wants 180 grand. That's straight. You already know that that's come from the club. Everyone in football will know what his demands are. Yeah.
So the fact that it's come out, I feel that they're never going to pay that.
Does that not, though, in terms of sort of motivation stuff, right? So let me get the argument is that we are villainizing Kobbie Mainoo because we're going to sell him and we need to make him look like the villain, and it takes the pressure off Ineos. That's the skullduggery part, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so the motivation is definitely there. Ineos need money. I think a simpler explanation, to be honest, is that someone at the club who's seen a lot of their friends and their co-workers getting frontally leaking a story. That is simpler to me, because if Ineos are, although Ineos do have a track record for this, Ineos are damaging the potential transfer value of Kobbie Mainoo by putting out that they're not going to give him a contract and that his demands are wild.
And that's why he's come out, and then his agents have obviously come out and said, no problem, they'll go and play abroad.
It is a shame. I do really, really like Kobbie Mainoo as a footballer, but he is I think I said this at the beginning of this season, that I suspected that we might lose him because we can't offer him Champions League football. He played in a European. He's played more games in the European Championships than he has in the Champions League. It's difficult to hold on to a player like that. I don't know if I'd say that this is skullduggery. I understand the argument, and the thing is that we really hurt Rashford's sell-on value with what we did by putting all those stories out before having a buyer. So maybe I just think a simpler argument with less steps is that someone is really angry about everyone losing their jobs and a player getting paid this amount of money. But I don't know. It's just a bad situation because Kobbie's not suited to an Amorim team. He doesn't have the running power yet. He's going to develop into a very good player, I feel. And I think I'm not a massive fan of like Amarin or his football, and I think it's a real shame that players like Kobbie and Garnacho, who have potential, are kind of being sacrificed to fund a system that I don't think is going to succeed in the long run.
I don't think I don't see it working in the Premier League. Europe, I think they'll get away with, but we're not going to be in Europe. So I think it's a Premier League. But look, we'll I'm going to get a couple of these up. I'm Titanium. Mainly doesn't want to leave. He told my mother's doctor's son's girlfriend's dad's cousin's niece. There you go. I've read another one from you, Andrew. Mainly story. I knew this story was coming after the 100k a week story. I'm going to read all of them. If you cannot see that the club is doing the naughty shit behind the scenes, then you are mental. Us, them, whoever. They're going to sell Manu. These stories are being put out there to turn fan opinion. I said I agree. Maybe we've gone down the wrong line with this. We deserve better. Is saying who does play in Amarim's system. That's kind of what you are agreeing. One player. That's fantastic, isn't it? Richard Hawkins is saying, I think you're right, Mr. B. They're already putting him out in the shop window to make him look greedy to take the pressure off them. I said, look, maybe we're going down the wrong avenue with this bath time, but I think there's a couple of us that agree with this. Simon Warner, never mind the new stadium. We can't even afford for repairs. We've already let 200 people go. We should be called Skint United. Yeah, let's have a look if there's anything else in there. Chat Sports saying Amarin will see his contract out. They can't afford to sack him for whatever reason. I mean, look, it's who knows what they're going to do.
How many managers out? Come on.
Say again. It went blurry. What was that?
How many managers have seen their contract out in the Premier League? I think it's less than 2%.
And his contract is short anyway, so maybe they can afford to. Who knows? Look, just let's not get into that.
I'm quite surprised about this, like this view that like Kobbie is being used as PR. Yeah, like yeah, I can. There is a motivation there, but at the same time, they have like whatever you think about Ineos, they've kind of stood up and taken their licks. Like they haven't really sort of sugarcoated anything. They've tried to do things as quickly as possible and so on, such as like getting rid of my mate Dan.
This is the money part of it. I mean, if by some miracle they qualify for Champions League, and maybe these players will stay, but I just we
can't hang on to Kobbie Mainoo.
Not both of them. There's no way. I think it's impossible, and Chelsea will pay him. Chelsea will pay him the 180 grand that he wants to be paid. They will pay him.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, how much would you take for Kobbie Mainoo at a minimum?
357 million bath time. Well, right. I just don't understand. All right, seriously, you've got to be looking at 60 to 70.
Right. Really. If you sign a 60 to 70 million pound player, how much would you? What is the minimum you think you could get away with paying them?
200 grand.
There you go.
No, I get it. I get it totally. But at the same time, he's had 6 months. He's had 12 months of football. He's been injured the whole of this season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He hasn't proved. He hasn't earned. And this is what they did with Luke Shaw. These are the things that they keep doing. So on one hand, we want them to save money and get rid of the players, blah, blah, blah. And the greedy players are not wasting the wages. But on the other hand, we've got people saying, I'm not saying pay him 180 grand. I'm not saying that.
I am.
If they can get him, on Euro money, then fine. But half time, where are they going to get the money from to pay them? And this is the point. They're cutting it. You see the cuts that they're making, sandwiches, blah blah blah. Yes, it's trivial. We may, and rival fans laugh and banter about it, but for them to be making those kind of cuts, no player is getting that kind of money. I mean, the Bruno situation, Bruno's on over 300 grand a week, but what is it because he's performing or Amarin favourite? Why there's no pressure on them to be getting rid of Bruno? It was Rashford. We knew Rashford was going to go. You see what I mean? So is it a performance-based thing, or is it financial?
Well, it's 100. It's right. It's two things from his end. It's about systems, competitions he's playing in, all these sort of stuff. Because I still think the spectre of Gaza will haunt a lot of young players. Where Paul Gascoigne, he played in one World Cup, didn't he? And he got to the semi-final, and that was it. Kobbie got to a European Championship final. Who knows if he's getting there again? Who knows if Tuchel is saying, look, I'm not picking anyone who's not playing Champions League football. That's the level you need to be at, and so on. I am interested that this is seen as as PR. I'm not discounting that it is PR. I wonder if Ineos are this stupid to damage their most valuable asset by putting this negative stuff out. They did it with Rashford though. Rashford was excommunicated, all this kind of stuff before he had a buyer. And I'm not sure. It's interesting. It's just for me personally, I really, really like Kobbie Mainoo as a player.
He's great.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic. I think he's also a good lad. And it's not just because I liked his brother on Love Island. I've always liked Kobbie Mainoo. It's very obvious where he needs to improve. But that's kind of physical stuff and experience which you can only get with time. I think that I believe his agency is Castella. And he's probably their highest valued client. Everyone will people have been speaking to Kobbie Mainoo for years. Did he turn down 2 moves to City when he's 14 and 16? By the way, apparently we've also got the next Messi in our youth academy. Have you seen this? This JJ guy.
Yeah, that's the one who all the foreign teams are going to take from.
Oh, has my internet
anyway,
gone?
So I'm not even going to get involved in all of that. I did see.
You're
back, yeah.
You
back?
Yeah. I really like Kobbie. I don't want to see him go. He is worth, in my opinion, around. He's under 200k, but I think he's probably worth about 150k on the market, and without Champions League football, 180k. And I just think it's a real shame that we are almost certainly going to lose him.
Yeah, I think so. Right, let me just go for a couple more of these. Here we go. Chat Sport. Mainly could see out his contract and get a free signing fee at the end of it. They wouldn't hold him for 2 years. I don't think they would do that, but that's just my opinion. Andrew, I'm not saying we shouldn't sell him, but don't understand why supposedly intelligent people around him can't see what's going on. Tactical Devils. The journalists don't know shit. It's all a media game. First they said he wanted 180 a week. Now it's 150. They're just guessing. I said, look, they're guessing, but there must be a figure that has been put out there.
Yeah, look, Kobbie's agent will be speaking to everyone, and he'll be saying, I'm getting this offer, I'm getting that offer, and things like that. The figure will be, it will be on the higher end, but Kobbie Mainoo will definitely be asking for around that kind of figure, because you need to overpay him to stay at a club that doesn't have Champions League football. He's a homegrown player. He's a first choice England international. You could the figures will be pretty accurate.
Okay, we deserve better. They're going to sell Garnacho and Mainoo, and they're going to keep Casemiro and Maguire. Kill me now. Chat Sport saying 80 million for Mainoo.
Yeah.
I think he's only got an 18-month contract. I think he was talking about Amarin with his contract. I mean,
my phone contract is longer than that.
I mean, the thing is, if he's got an 18-month contract, they have to. They're gonna have to extend that just to warrant buying the system players that he wants. Do you know what I mean? It's weird.
Well, I mean, to be honest, from what we're seeing with transfer reports, we're not. I know, like I've said repeatedly, I think that Quenda is a done deal because of what I've read in Spanish newspapers. And they've got good links, like going all the way back to Di Maria, Casemiro, and stuff. But we're linked with central players, maybe mainly, like goalkeepers, strikers, centre backs, centre midfielders. At the moment, it's just that we've kind of like committed. So I don't. I personally, I think that they might already be questioning like whether it's worth like investing in Amlin's system, and rightly so.
Chat Sport. Mainly should see out his contract. He's only got 2 years. He's only got 2 years left. Sorry, was that a same one? Anyway, it doesn't matter. They will let him go. Ineos, like the Glazers, are interested in Brand United, not Manchester United. Kobbie is not at the minute 180 grand a week player, but he does deserve an upgrade. I mean, he's only on 20 grand, for God's sake. If we give him 150 grand in 3 years, he's going to want 250 grand. He's played 12 months of football and he's been injured most of the season. That's from Grace. If that was Dallo, though, would that be a different situation? That's the question. And we deserve better. Is it Mainu on a contract until 2027? Yeah, but they always start things early, because once they hit that last year, then it's kind of an impossible situation. Andrew said he can't go on a free because of his age.
Is that right?
He's saying that they will have to. Here we go. They'll have to pay compensation.
Right, tribunal, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, what would the compensation be? I mean, would they get? Sorry, pardon me. Would they get anything that they wanted to get? I mean, I don't know. They're not going to get the.
Well, you have to. I suppose that you look at like comparable players. So hopefully we would use Enzo Fernandez, who went for 105 million as a comparable. That's a comparable player. Or Declan Rice.
Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Amarin has until 2027. It's a 2 1/3 year contract.
Okay.
Look, I'm going to put this up. There you go. Look, I'm going to put that up for you. Right. So we've gone through all of those topics. Is there anything else before we get to the preview, bath time?
Yeah, I want to like. When do you want to do the protest stuff?
Do you know what? Should we do that now? Yeah, let's do that now, and then we'll end on the preview. Yeah.
All right, boys. We've got a video for you from the 1958. There will be a protest this Sunday, and then we're going to sort of like discuss it. But here's a video. It should have sound. So enjoy. All right. First of all, shout out to this lad here, Tactical Devils. This is Jarvis. Jarvis is the guy that edited this video for us. He has a channel. Go and subscribe to him. He's part of our network, I suppose. Like, and one day always calls them sister channels, but there you are. But Jarvis very kindly sent that in. So well, I mean, you've seen the video. There's a protest at the toll gate, which is a very famous pub near Old Trafford. You need to show a ticket to get in, and they're going to be protesting about a lot of stuff. Mr. B, is there anything there that caught your attention in terms of the direction that we're protesting against?
No, I mean, the thing is, I think a protest probably does need to be done, but they protested before, and apart from all right, they got the Liverpool game called off first time in Premier League history, blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. But what did it really change? Really, you know, the Glazers are going to do what they want anyway, regardless of whether people are buying shirts or not buying shirts. You know, whether they're not, you know, buying Adidas merchandise or Tezos or flying with whatever airline they're now sponsored by. I don't think it stops anything by half time. I'm not going to say, I'm not sitting here high and mighty saying, no, that, you know, not to do it or whatever, but I get their point. I understand what they're doing, and I really assume that there's no other way of getting the word out there, and it's a high profile game. I don't think the game will get called off. I think they will have enough. I think they were caught on the hop the last time in regards to the volume of what was going on. I just feel that they will have more than a few measures in place, maybe. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. To be fair, what are you thinking?
I am always distrustful of popularism. As I think you should be. What I like about the 1958 is that they are very, very strongly targeting the 17-19 ruling, which is that there are 19 home games a year. And as if you're a Manchester United season ticket holder, you have to attend 17 of them to keep your season ticket. Like they've changed a lot over the last 2 or 3 years. Originally, like some of their protests didn't sit well with me, like the Richard Arnold stuff, the Ed Woodward stuff, barricading Carrington, and the Liverpool game. I don't know how I feel about the Liverpool game, because they caused a lot of damage around Old Trafford. They assaulted police officers and things, but they did. I think they did put the frighteners a little bit on the club. And for a long time, the club has kind of been at war with the fans. Like, we have several different fan groups like Must, the TRA, the Red Army, and these have direct connections to the club. And the 1958 used to be a lot more aggressive. I remember they demanded the resignation of someone from the TRA because they'd taken a job at United. But now they're much more focused on the things that I like, which is that Manchester United is a community football club that should serve the Manchester community and inspire with its values people around the world. My concern is that with the state of everything that's going on, the feeling around the club, we've heard Stuart Marshall's... Sorry?
I think it might kick off.
Yeah, and like traditionally, like these groups in the United Kingdom have been associated with recruitment for... I mean, do you remember Combat 18? Like the NF? Like all these things were done at football clubs, essentially. Obviously in the Northwest with Liverpool and Manchester United, with things like the Peter Lee massacre, we've got huge amounts of like more sort of like socialist leaning fans and...
Bath time, what the hell are you talking about, bruv?
Peter Lee massacre?
Yeah. I'm ignorant to that. I shouldn't.
It doesn't, like, basically, like Liverpool, Manchester United, even Manchester City, Everton have always been more associated with anti-fascism, and things like Combat 18.
Is this stop? Is this gonna this is too deep?
No.
This is too deep for me on a Friday bath time, honestly.
All right. Basically, I am very, very worried that it is extremely easy to villainize football fans using age-old prejudices going back to the Taylor Report and Thatcherism, and that if there is violence at this protest, it will completely backfire on everything they're trying to do, which is protect the cultural legacy of match-going fans. And I really hope it goes off like the Chelsea protest they did. I hope it goes off without a hitch, but I'm concerned.
Okay. Well, let me get a couple of these messages as well. Tactical Devils is gone. Blazers out. I am Titanium. I am Blazers out. Andrew, I support the protest, but with these eyes wide open. We deserve better is saying, yep, I'm going to be honest, I cannot remember what the hell you were saying yet, to apologies, but I did star it. We deserve better. Andrew, if we get the game cancelled, we are going to get hammered. Tactical Devil, let me just move that down a bit. Well, they participated in stopping the Super League. I think it was a bit done before they jumped on, but you know,
it was Chelsea that really kind of turned it on that. Shout out to Chelsea fans.
We deserve better. We are legacy supporters, they will say something in response after a few hollow promises and carry on full steam ahead. Richard Hawkins, it changed nothing. Imagine if you had a cash machine that never ran out of money. That's what the Glazers have, and they're not giving it back. Andrew Williams is saying, if the game is cancelled, it could potentially affect the Champions League or even the title. Oh God, the Premier League should hit us with 6 to 8 points. He's agreeing a bit with you there, Bath Time, about the English Defence League vibes. And we deserve better. Chelsea C18.
Combat 18.
Yeah. Oh right. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Simon Warner. It's because the Glazers that United are where they are now. Nothing has changed since Fergie retired. What does it take, or will it take, to get the Glazers out of the club? Any ideas, guys? Well, they've obviously the 1958 have started. Well, it's not their first one, but they'll see. Long time no see. Patrick Ajiman. Good evening, gents. Any thoughts on the recent comments on Tim Howard's recent comments on the Glazers?
He said, so Tim Howard said that the Glazers had spent millions on the club and could run it the way that they wanted to.
Oh, fuck off, Tim Howard. That's my opinion on Tim Howard. How's that?
Yeah.
How's that? How's that?
Yeah, you know, like, I mean, unfortunately, these people like Rooney, like Tim Howard, even Sir Alex Ferguson, they kind of all have to toe the line on this kind of stuff.
And he's American as well, so
yeah, exactly. Someone said, like, what do we need to do to take the Glazers out of the club? One of the biggest reasons that a lot of the Glazers sold was changing currency rates between the pound and the dollar, because their debt is in dollars and we make money in pounds. So if you can tank the pound against the dollar, you'll get them out.
We deserve better. Got one. There's a few of you guys in the chat. He's just asking, was he the only one who thought that the promotion was a bit too aggressive in its tone?
Yeah, I think you could sort of read into. Yeah, I think you could say that, but at the same time, these lads cared about the club, and like it's the life for a lot of them, and they are the lifeblood of Manchester United. So they're entitled to be like aggressive. And in the early days, they part of their charter was saying that they hated fan cameras, that they thought they were divisive. And recently, they've been like doing the rounds on channels like Stretford Paddock and stuff. So I think that they're like moderating their tone. They're being a bit more welcoming. But I mean, it is essentially a bit of like propaganda, and they're all out there looking hard and things like that. And it's it's a protest. So like they've got to kind of be a little bit like that. So I understand it, but I hope it just doesn't. It doesn't put people off, because the idea is wonderful in principle. It's the execution that I'm concerned about.
Andrew's saying sometimes simple is better, and we deserve better. Is just saying. I'm just concerned it hands the police license to be a little bit heavy-handed.
Well, it's a legal protest. I assume that, like, after what happened last time, like, I think 30 or 40 people got arrested in dawn raids, like, after the Liverpool protest, because they were smashing stuff up and they did assault police officers. They've had protests against the Chelsea game. There was that march for Ian Sterling. I don't think there's been any problems since then. I think they started off very aggressive with Woodward in particular and the Carrington incident, and have moderated themselves the more they've gone on. And I hope that we see a display of force and a display of numbers and unity, but with no violence, because like if this goes wrong, they'll push ahead to get more day trippers in and things like that, and we'll lose a lot. So I feel there's a lot on the line on Sunday.
Okay. Well, look, that was kind of a down point, maybe an up point, but look, we've got a game coming up on Sunday. I mean, the crazy thing is, bath time. Normally we would have a whole preview show on the Arsenal match, but this season for us, I don't think it means much. And to Arsenal, they're not in the title race. They're now battling for top 4. I would love to put in a performance that, or have a team out there that I think we would beat them. But I'm not saying I don't care about this. Normally this Arsenal rivalry just burns me. This is the one that fills me with that. I don't have it. I don't have it. It just feels like a game. It's just interfering with us playing the Europa League on Thursday, which is weird. I know he's not going to prioritize. I know he's going to go as strong as he can in the game, but he must have an eye on the Thursday fixture. So it's weird. The game's on. I'm very blasé about what I'm expecting from the team, and even more blasé about the result. I don't want to get hammered. I don't want to get a 5 or a 6. We're not going to get that. I say we're not going to get that. Who knows what we're going to do? I have no idea what we're going to do, because the Man City performance surprised us. Even the Arsenal performance, the late goal, So we have it in us. We have it in us to raise our game. So I don't feel we're going to get battered. I don't feel the result is going to be positive. What I hope is that the game comes, the game goes, there's no controversy, and we don't get any injuries before Thursday. That is my main thing. Well, I was going to ask, do you think there's going to be any changes to the team? Obviously, I don't think Agate's back, and obviously Dorgu's suspended, which means that he's going to be going with Mazraoui and Delo either side. I mean, anyway, look, the less we said about, we've already had the Delo discussion, so he's going to be going with Mazraoui and Delo either side. Hamas has been on the bench. Still got no minutes. I don't see him playing against Arsenal. So, what do you feel is going to be happening tomorrow?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because like after the midweek stuff, like Arsenal are through in Europe to the next game. Like the one, was it 7-0 or whatever?
7-1, yeah.
Yeah, we're in. We're like, I wouldn't say we're on a knife edge, but we've got to go and get a positive result. Obi Martin, Obi Chido, he is not able to play in Europe, so it might make sense in some ways to give him 60 minutes from the start, and save the legs of players like Rasmus. Ugarte, like, suspended, Dorgu suspended. It's an interesting one. We saw Konya come on for 10 minutes, was it, against Porto? Not Porto. Who did we play? Sociedad.
Yeah.
So it might be that we save the legs of Casemiro for the Sociedad return, and we play Toby Collier, but it's who we can get out. Like, I would think that the back three would be Yoro, Lindelof, and De Ligt. Like, I think Maguire's out. I'm not.
Please don't Lindelof. Serious. I'd rather
I don't
he
want to
played
start
Heaven.
Heaven.
No,
I don't want to start Heaven.
I understand that, but wouldn't be. Oh, fucking hell. He can't start Lindelof. These players don't care. Do you know what the problem is we've got with the team?
On before Heaven.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is with what was really pissing me off half time. These are players who know they're going in January. They're not going to make that last-ditch tackle that, I'm not going to say might injure them. They're not committed to the club. Do you understand? I don't get. We're losing anyway. We're losing
they're
the
looking
games
for
anyway.
new employers.
Yeah, but they are, but they don't care. They're still going to, you don't think that they've been looking already? And they've already had their
good performance.
Right, they've got their.
Well.
Oh no, man! I would rather Heaven played. Honestly, I'd rather Heaven played.
Look, he's got a lot of form for picking young players early, like Amarin.
If they're good enough,
maybe he does. The thing is that, like, I don't know if Arsenal, because the thing is that you're planning with your training and stuff. You're planning your selections essentially long in advance, and I don't think Arsenal would have thought that they would smash whoever it was 7-1. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see a slightly weaker team than we expect from Arsenal. But they'll still
slightly weaker.
Yeah, because because the way training works is you plan it weeks in advance, and they wouldn't have thought that they were going to like absolutely smash like PSV or whoever it was and be guaranteed like essentially a bye to the next round. So with all of that in mind, they'll have got their player. They'll have like wanted their players at a certain amount of match practice, a certain amount of fitness for that game that's coming up, and it means that they have to change things up. And I don't know if they've had enough time to be able to get sort of like other players in. I personally think we got a chance of getting something from this game, just based off the fact that against the better teams you start to do well. But I would think I would like to see, like, we know Bruno's going to play. I think Garnacho is going to be on the bench. Collier, Amas might, who knows? Amas might start. Delo might get rested. Mazraoui might get rested. Who knows? I mean, it's a hard one. And it doesn't matter, really, does it?
And that's the same thing. Andrew had a comment. I'll get it up in a minute. But yeah, I mean, but are we allowed? Is it wrong as a club of Manchester United size that he would go weaker in a game against Arsenal?
Well, let's not say weaker. Let's say give opportunities.
Okay.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, we should. It's not like idealism versus practicality here. It's that, like, we should be looking for what we're going to do next season. So why not give Amas 40 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever, against Arsenal, one of the best, one of the better teams in Europe, and see how they get on. This might be like the opportunity to get a couple of the youngsters out. I mean, I don't think he'll go as young as, say, Fletcher, but OB, I can see starting. Amas, I can see getting a decent amount of game time. Heaven obviously could start. He's been blooded in the Premier League. It might, come Sunday, we might see a really exciting team out there.
Who knows?
Like young unknowns.
I mean, it would. I'll be honest. I would like to see something different, because we'd already know. I mean, we predicted the team on for the last game. When I saw it, I just chuckled to myself. I mean, it wasn't too difficult to predict, to be fair, you know. But when it came up, I thought, bloody hell, we don't even have to change. I don't even have to change anything on the PDF. You know what I mean? But look, we got a couple more. Simon Warner has got. We can beat Arsenal. We did so in the cup, but failed to beat lesser teams or relegation threatened teams. Richard Hawkins is saying, Obi offers something different. We
He
deserve
can
better.
control the football.
Exactly. Club mascot, Heaven, Heaven, Maguire, Euro, Dallo, Bruno, Collier, Mazraoui, Ericsson, Garnacho, and Xerxes.
I'm not too far away from that team. I would take Garnacho out. I'd put Xerxes as number 10. He's not number 9. I think that he'll give that. I think he'll give Rasmus a rest and probably play Obi, because Obi, you know, he can't be put on the B list. He's not on the A list.
He needs game time.
Yeah,
Rasmus needs a rest.
The thing is, though, is Heaven won't play right centre back. Like, he's left-footed, and he came on as a central centre back, even when De Ligt was there. I think you're more likely.
I think he sees him as a. I do think he sees him as a centre back.
Yeah, I think it will be De Ligt, right centre back, Heaven centre back, Euro left centre back.
I would love to. Oh my god! But I would love to see that, regardless of what we took in the game. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. But you called Lindelof.
Yeah, because Lindelof is like a Sweden captain, very experienced, has come on before Heaven in every game so far. Like, you know, it's people might laugh at players like Kai Havertz, but that's a hell of a step up from anything that Heaven has faced so far. I would prefer Heaven to come on. I prefer Mass to come on. I mean, I'd absolutely love it if we saw at maybe the 60th minute mark, scores 0-0. We see 4, like a kind of school photo. We see 4 teenagers like all ready to come on. It'd be amazing. It would really give the crowd a lift, and it'd be great.
And that's what they need. They need to be lifted at the moment.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Andrew Williams is saying, does it really matter? Probably not. These league games, as much as I don't think it did, but I was calling Europa League a long time ago. Simon Warner, are we going to see the likes of Collier playing in this match?
I think so.
Andrew, I honestly think the best form of process is to hold up signs, turn your back on the pitch and walk out.
Look, Andrew, there's been one coordinated fan group in the UK that managed to get rid of the owners, and it was Celtic in like 1991, and they did it by having less than 9,000 people in Parkhead. That is never going to happen at Old Trafford ever. I like the sort of like not coming in until, was it 17th minute? They weren't coming in till. Like, I thought that was all right, but even the thing about holding up signs, the TRA were reassigned, I think, last season, their seats in the Stretford end, and that causes all sorts of problems with banners and stuff like that. The best thing that the 1958 can do, in my opinion, is actually work on coalition building and get Must and the TRA on side so that we have a unified fan base. Because we don't have that at the moment. The thing is it's all probably academic, because really what it's about is Jim Glazer, if he's able to buy the shares like this summer.
No chance.
Well, I wouldn't. He hasn't come just to fire people. Let's see how it plays out.
Okay, look. Let me go for a couple of these comments anyway. More than a couple, to be honest. With Onana playing, I see a 2-2 draw. Wow, he would have been confident without him. Stephanie, how you doing? I hope you're doing well, sweetie. Will he try Harry Amas at left wing back? Hindsight, Malacia going out on loan, was it a mistake or unlucky? I don't think he trusted him, to be fair. Rasmus won't score. I'll probably faint in shock if he does. Hopefully, no Maguire. That's from Simon Warner. Simon Warner again. We can and did beat Arsenal and end if their title hopes.
That was in the FA Cup, Simon.
Yeah, God bless Simon. The question is, should we rest as many players as possible for the return leg against Real Sociedad? The league is essentially meaningless.
Didn't Amarin say, what did Amarin say about like this game? Did he say that like Europa League was more important or something?
No, he said Europa League doesn't mean anything to the full progression of the squad. He's looking at the bigger picture. So I think he tried. Yeah, I think he just did it to kind of take pressure off him. Oh, let's hope so.
That's what progression is.
Obviously, tried to win, but now it's time to try other things. Tactical Devils is just bigging up Stephanie, the United Queen. Tactical Devils, the Europa League is the only thing we have to fight for. Same goes for Real Sociedad, but they will save their best players this weekend so they're fit for Thursday. Could be hot 120 minutes of football. Here we go. This is another one from Simon. If we focus and actually take the game to Arsenal, we can beat them. Oh shit! Anyway, I've already read that. Anyway, I might have already read that one. That sounds a bit familiar. Patrick, Mr. B, have you seen United subs bench in the last couple of matches? They really haven't got many options. Does resting Højlund make United a stronger or weaker team in your opinion?
That should be IE, not EG.
EG. Okay. Bath time, man. It's Friday.
It's important. Latin is very important, Mr. B.
Oh, Jesus, bloody Christ. It's Friday. Simon Warner saying 3 points is what we want. I'm not sure. There's a lot of things that we want in life. I'm not sure we're gonna get. I'm not sure we're gonna get that. To be fair, guys, get some score predictions in before it's a lack of notch time, please. Bath time. What are your feelings on the game?
We're gonna win.
Right, I'll start again. I'll start. Oh, okay. Is that Friday night hope? Is that rosé hope? Red wine hope?
That's sangria hope. That's
all
what fuels me. Look, we've done well against the bigger teams, probably because of like how they kind of like organize space and so on. We've seen like that Amarin is a bit of a body puncher, where he likes to sort of tire teams out and then use the bench to kind of finish them off. I can genuinely see Garnacho causing problems when I think he'll come on and so on. It's not a big game in terms of the league and stuff, but all the things going on around it, like the protests and stuff, could fire the players up. We've got a lot of young players like looking to kind of make their mark and so on, like with not a lot of fear and a lot of confidence. Arsenal, they're not really like in the league, but they are in the Champions League. I don't know if the fight will be there from them. So I can see a lot of delusional reasons to get excited, but on the other hand, Arsenal are a far better team than we are at the moment. Our confidence is at rock bottom. The connection between the fans and the players has never been worse. It's a hard one to call, but I just think that it is still, even though it's rotten, it is still the theatre of dreams. And we all know that Obi is going to have a moment, and I think it's coming on Sunday.
Well, let's see. Let's see if anybody else agrees with you. What was the score, Bath? Sorry, you said we're going to win. Did you give me a score?
I'm going to go
2-1. Okay. Trevor Fever agrees with you. 2-1 United. Farn has got 120 minutes of boredom. Dana O'Reilly. New? Have I seen you before?
I think that's new.
Okay, yeah. Welcome. I would say the madness. But welcome anyway, Dana. It's gone 4-3 United. Simon Warner has gone 2-2. Richard Hawkins has gone 1-0. Farn has gone 2-0 United. Stephanie has gone United 3, Onana 2. I'm Titanium has gone 2-1. Simon Warner has actually got goal from Xerxes and Garnacho. We deserve better. Man divided 0. Arsenal 4. Let's see if there's anything, any more score predictions on here. There's 16 of us in the house. Come on. We'll take the 20
there's
likes.
16 likes, 20 people watching.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, you know it's getting late.
It's in hieroglyphics. You don't even need to read to understand that.
Look, bath time, behave. Behave. Theatre of nightmares, Darda's saying at the moment. Look, hopefully it'll get better. Chat Sports has gone 2-2. Simon Warner saying, give the fans what they want, basically, at the end of the day. Well, we want to win. I'm not sure they could give that. Home advantage means nout these days. It really, really does. It really, really does. Bath time.
Yes.
That's flown by. But I think we've blown through quite a few topics for a Friday night. Including the not so great preview. But we've covered a few bits, guys. 20 likes. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciated. Is it like a notch time or is there anything else you want to talk about before we disappear?
Should we do a raid?
Yeah, who we raiding? Let's go.
I think I can only see Rich, but then again he does have Luca on. Any suggestions in chat of good channels? Do you know what? Actually, I'm gonna give the So Solid. I'm gonna find the So Solid crew channel. It's this guy. He's really funny. He does like a rap, but in his match reactions, rather than like talking about rest defenses and like presses and things like that, he just does a rap about the game, and it's really fun. So I'll try and find him. But the only thing I would say is likes and subscribes. We're getting absolutely killed at the moment. No one is watching us.
You lot are, but spread the love.
Yeah, we're not doing very well with our views and so on. So if you are new, leave a like and a subscribe, and leave a comment after the show ends. I can't find this guy, so I'm just going to give Rich. Look, this is what's Rich's channel called now? He changed it. Red Devil United. If you like transfers, that's like Rich. He does a lot of transfer stuff. So go there and say Mr. B's Men or something like that. And I hope all of you enjoy your weekend. Mr. B, you doing a watch along on Sunday?
Oh Jesus Christ! I don't know bath time. I'm going to be honest.
Brilliant.
I have no idea. Guys, hit the notification bell just in case I do decide.
Nice.
I'll be honest. I want to sit down here and see us get pumped. I don't really want to do that. Europa's different because I feel that we've got a chance. But to sit down and know that we're going to get hammered by Arsenal, I don't need to do that on YouTube. I can do that. I can do that with a. Oh shit! I nearly said it on stream. I can do that with a big drink. So yeah.
Nice. And a big gatto.
Yeah, and a big gatto. Mr. B's Men. There you go. That's what you're saying. That's what you're gonna go and raid with Rich with Mr. B's Men. There you go. Yeah, and
they never do it though.
No, they did. They hit him on they hit the Tactical Devils up the other day.
Wasn't it like 3 of them or something? Look, I'm gonna watch and see if they do it.
Yeah.
But we're back on Sunday. For a reaction
with Mr. Positivity. But do the reaction. Oh Jesus, can you imagine?
Gosh.
Oh my God.
Oh, exciting news actually. Dora's brother has apparently been asking to come on. So we might have 2 crazy slugs.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was Andy. He's got a lot to talk about now, isn't he? He's sick of Dora getting all the limelight, isn't he?
Well, I'm interested to see their dynamic. I'm hoping they just burst out Serbo Croat.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fight about like things that happened 2 years ago.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Yeah, well, why not? Why not? Why not? Okay. Well, look, guys, a little bit of insider information for you that maybe we shouldn't have said online. People might have Dora's brother on. But look, guys, we are going to be back on Sunday at some stage, whether it's for the watch along, and we will definitely be back for the reaction. So it's a lack of notch from me,
and it is a lack of notch from me.